More than 40 years since they launched, the Voyager spacecraft are still making discoveries. In a new study, a team of physicists led by the University of Iowa report the first detection of bursts of cosmic ray electrons accelerated by shock waves originating from major eruptions on the Sun. The detection, made by instruments on board both the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft, the bursts were followed by plasma wave oscillations caused by low-energy electrons arriving at the Voyager's instruments days later, and finally, in some cases, the shock wave itself as long as a month. The shock waves emanated from coronal mass ejections, expulsions of hot gas and energy that move outward from the Sun at about 1 million miles per hour. Even at those speeds, it takes more than a year for the shock waves to reach the Voyager spacecraft, which have traveled further from the Sun, more than 14 billion miles and counting, than any human. What we see here specifically is a certain mechanism whereby when the shock wave first contacts the interstellar magnetic field lines passing through the spacecraft, it reflects and accelerates some of the cosmic ray electrons, says Don Gurnett, Professor Emeritus in Physics and Astronomy at IOW. That is a new mechanism. The discovery could help physicists better understand the dynamics underpinning shock waves and cosmic radiation that come from flare stars, which can vary in brightness briefly due to violent activity on their surface, and exploding stars. The physics of such phenomena would be important to consider when sending astronauts on extended lunar or Martian excursions, for instance, during which they would be exposed to concentrations of cosmic rays far exceed. The physicists believe these electrons in the interstellar medium are reflected off of a strengthened magnetic field at the edge of the shock wave and the reflected electrons then spiral along interstellar magnetic field lines, gaining speed as the distance between them and the shock increases. In a 2014 paper in the journal Astrophysical Letters, physicists J.R. Jokipi and Joseph Kota described theoretically how ions reflected from shock waves could be accelerated along interstellar magnetic field lines. The current study looks at bursts of electrons detected by the Voyager spacecraft that are thought to be accelerated by a similar process. The idea that shock waves accelerate particles is not new, Gurnett says. Please support my channel to grow by pressing subscribe button and the bell icon. We will notify you technological news. Thank you.